Hello and welcome to a Burleymon media production, in association with ComfyFutons production. This is the first game ever in a series after me, Burleymon. Today I'm playing Teemo, and alongside me are Garren, Master Yi, Twisted Fate, and Zilian, played by ComfyFutons. The summoner spells I pick are Flash and Ignite. My talents are 21 in utility and 9 in offense, mostly because I like to play defensively until the end of the game. I always pick my poison as my first spell, and I go along with the Doran's Ring. Most people can play Teemo, either ability power or attack speed, but ability power is definitely the best. Here I'm playing by myself in solo lane on top, and this is perfect for me because both of these characters are close range melee characters, and I can handle them very, very easily as long as I don't get too aggressive until I've got a lot of ability power. And mushrooms don't hurt either. But after I get my poison darts, or after I get my poison, I get my poison dart, which is my Q, and the major thing about that is that it blinds. So if they ever come after me, I can use my dart and they can't even touch me. Basically, I just focus on farming minions. Here's the first bit of excitement that we have. Twisted Fate comes in for the gank. Doesn't really work out as we planned. I probably should have been a little bit more aggressive and things would have worked out, but it's okay. So here we turn back. It's not going to work out. I'm warding the river, and out of nowhere comes a Nivea, and I'm like, oh darn. And to make it worse, here comes Shaco. But I turn around, fight him, ignite him, blind him, and put poisons on him, and he goes down before me. But a Nivea finishes me off. Twisted Fate stays in too long, and he dies too, but I got my first kill, and I'm kind of happy. Here, I've taken lane domination pretty much. I'm level 10, I think maybe through 2 or 3 levels ahead of everyone. Oh, they're level 6, so I've got 4 levels on these guys. I can take out half of Shaco's health in just a couple of hits, and it forces him to go back very early. Amumu, on the other hand, can take more of a beating. But I've done pretty well in this lane. I've actually zoned them out a couple times, so I've got a lot of creep kills at this point, and I have everything warded off with mushrooms, so no one can come in and grab me. Here, you see that I'm just being aggressive because I'm taking control of the huge level boost that I have on these other guys. There, I was very, very close to killing Shaco, but I think he health potted and didn't die to my poisons. The cool thing about Teemo is just that when you build him ability power, you do so much damage even after you stop attacking. And I really enjoy that because out of nowhere, someone will just die and it'll be like 3 or 4 seconds after you've stopped hitting them. And it's a really great feeling, but terrible if you're the person it happens to. Here, Amumu really can't do anything to me because I always start with a Rylai's Crystal Scepter, so it gives me lots of health and lots of ability power, and I always get my first boots just so I can, keep up and get kills whenever I need to. But for someone that's 2-on-1 to be pushing the tower and have lane domination, you really have to be very careful and very patient and wait for the right time to attack.
An enemy has been slain.
At this point, I see he went in. My mushroom is there, but I ignite, I poison, I attack, and I die because it's 2-on-1, but I get a kill too, and it gives me enough money to finish off my scepter there, or almost finish off my scepter. Here is one of my favorite parts about being Teemo. If you notice, Twisted Fate came in top, and Shaco thinks he's okay in the bush, but the mushroom gives me sight into the bush. And so Twisted Fate starts hitting him, and he's like, oh no, and he deceives. But he hits the mushroom, and you think, oh, he's going to get away, but he's poisoned, so he dies. Here, it's 4-on-2. Anivia is a bit of a problem for me just because she can do so much burst damage, but my teammates come in and I get away with just a little bit of health. If you notice, I'm about to get an assist just because my mushroom hit somebody, and I got some gold even though I wasn't even there for the fight. Ability power Teemo, just in the beginning, he's not that great, but as you go on, at the end of this game, my mushrooms hit for over 1,000 damage apiece, and sometimes you'll get into 2 or 3 hits of 2 or 3 of them in a single fight, so it devastates the enemy team. What I like to do is I like to focus on mushrooms with him, so I go for some cooldown reduction, and it really pays off late game, especially when everybody is walking around. Because I don't know why, but everybody finds it necessary to walk around in the jungle, and every time you walk around in the jungle, you're gonna hit one of my mushrooms, regardless. There, the mixture of poisons and my ignite killed the Nivea, even though I was dead for about 2 or 3 seconds before that. If you notice, I like to ward Dragon. I have that done at the bottom, and generally I keep every lane with just a couple of mushrooms so that we can keep them from pushing. Here you see that my mushroom did about 1/4 of Shaco's health and damage, and everyone else comes in for a team fight. We all get stunned, but things work out in our favor later. I get the kill on Trendemir, I think, even though he used Endless Rage, and no, I don't get the kill. But Zilian saved me. It's great to have a Zilian on your team. Things always work out. Good job, ComfyFutons. Thank you. And Amumu definitely should not have charged in there, but it's okay. Free kill for me. It's always important to keep River warded, and mushrooms are the cheapest ward because they're free, so always do that. At this point in the game, I'm very well farmed. I have 6 kills, 3 deaths, and probably about 120 creep kills. So I have my death cap, my Rygals, or my Rylais, and my boots. Teemo's passive lets him go invisible after 3 seconds of not attacking, so they couldn't see me right there. And we kind of just popped out, and him and ComfyFutons and I did a ton of damage and sent their entire team back, even though it was only 2 of us. So that's something really cool that Teemo can do. It's also great for if they're ever coming after you and you get a couple steps ahead, you can just hide in the enemy jungle and they won't find you. Here you'll notice some things you can do with mushrooms. I put them in all the bushes to ward them, so you can tell when people are creeping up on you. And you can also put them down and clear entire creep waves really easily. Set one up there just so they can't take me from either side. Now, in team fights, generally everyone sits back and no one knows exactly when to go in because you don't want to be too aggressive, but sometimes things will just work out, and no, they did not hit my mushroom. Darn it. Luck stepped a little bit out of place. In here. And there it is, Shaco. I don't know why, but every time he jumped in and out of these fights, I would just blind him, and he must have died at least 4 or 5 times to me, just because he couldn't hit me. I narrowly escape, pop a pot just in case something bad's gonna happen, and got a kill with one of my mushrooms earlier. Here I am just continuing to farm. I always like to be a couple levels ahead. Here I'm 18 and the closest teammate of mine is I think 16, even though he was also a solo lane. Very important to keep mushrooms everywhere, just so you can always keep tabs on where your enemy is and do some damage to him. Here, that little dart does a ton of damage and blinds him, so if he would have kept attacking, everything would have been a miss. ComfyFutons is up there defending the tower by himself in this scene, and Shaco decides to be too aggressive. We put a poison on him, he puts a bomb on him, I shoot him, and sure enough, he dies about 3 seconds after he leaves the fight, just to the 2 damaged overtime spells that we both have. Zilian and Teemo make a great combo just because Teemo's squishy and Zilian can keep him alive. They can both have great speed, and then they both just do great amount of damage over time. Here, Shaco's out of place again. Twisted Fate ports in, we take him out, no problem. And their tank thinks he's a little bit stronger than he is. Let's do the same thing to him, and then we back off a little bit just because they're in tower range and they have an Anivia, so it's really hard for us to get creeps up there. Here, we definitely should have ran back, but you know, sometimes you go to help your teammates out and it doesn't really work out in your favor. And I had already wasted Blinding Dart, so I couldn't blind him while he was hitting me, and Endless Rage just got the best of our team. But while we were doing that, Twisted Fate backdoored their inhibitor, and this is the start of the end for them. That Shaco was really good at getting away. I have no idea where he went or how he got out of there, but he managed to do it, so congratulations to him. As at this point, you'll know I have a lot of items, a lot of ability power, and Anivia gives me a lot of problems on Teemo, so I went for a Banshee's Veil just for the magic resist and the ability to just take one of her hits with no damage. Here, Shaco's really out of place again. Gets 3 of our teammates on him, and if you noticed, the bomb stayed on the real Shaco, so that's a good indicator of which Shaco you should keep hitting. If you have any poisons or any bombs, make sure you hit Shaco before he hallucinates, and then you'll know which one to keep attacking. Here our team wants to go take that tower, but we're having some problems. My Banshee's Veil absorbs the first blow. Tryndamere comes in. He gets taken down really fast. Endless Rages. And it's just a full-blown team fight. We didn't do so well this team fight, but we got that tower down, and if you can distract them while super minions do a little bit of pushing, that always works out well. Here I'm getting blue buff. I get blue buff because, not for the mana regen necessarily, but for the cooldown reduction. I like to get at least 2 or 3 times during the game and just put down as many mushrooms as I can while my cooldown's as low as possible, and then just do it every once in a while. But, you know, you can share that blue buff with other teammates, but it's good for you to have every once in a while just to mushroom up the entire place. Here again, he's blinded. He does no damage to me when he comes to attack, and he dies once more. I think I got at least 4 or 5 kills on that shack. Oh, here's another one. We follow him into the jungle. He tries to get away. He's bombed again. He gets poisoned again, and Lux's laser gets the best of me. All in all, this was a pretty good game. I got a lot of creep kills early. I got a lot of really good weapons, or really good items, and everything just worked out towards the end just because I was so much higher than the rest of the opposing team. It started to get worse towards the end, but once I got my Banshee's Veil, it worked out really well. Here, just note the poison on him. I got a Tryndamere kill, and he didn't have Endless Rage, so he died. That's as simple as it is. If you can just keep attacking a couple times, he's guaranteed to die because, you know, he can only block you so many times. And Mumu gets away with just a tiny bit of health. And you'll notice exactly how hard my shots are hitting Anivia. But I probably should have left at that point. Here, Shaco's out again. He dies. We go after a Mumu. He also gets hit with a stun, and he's dead too. And then this is really where we take down the next inhibitor. The game is pretty much over after this. They tried to take us one more time. He Endless Rages really early, and I get the kill again with my poison. Here, we take Lux down, a gold card, and then a poison, and I get an ace. My team goes to take out the turret and the inhibitor. We probably could have just ended the game right here. I don't know why they didn't come help me fight. I don't have fast attack speed because I'm AP Teemo, but at this point I leave because 2 of the enemies are back, and I really just don't want to deal with them by myself at half health. Now that we regroup, I get a kill on Shaco again. We kill Amumu again, and finish the game with a good score of 14 and 6 and 9. It was a good game. ComfyFutons played well. I played well. He saved me a couple times with his ultimate, and I'm sure I saved him a couple times with my mushrooms. If you'll notice the items I go for a lot of ability power, cooldown reduction, survivability, and more ability power. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Burleymon. I'll be coming at you again in a couple weeks with another video. Make sure you hit up our website and subscribe.